So the next one after settings is the themes. For the themes, you can decide to change this template however you want. You can decide to use all you can decide to use their pre-built templates. They have several templates you can actually pick from here, and they have nice templates. So you can pick these and you can edit it however you want. You can, let's pick a simple one. So when you click on apply and you click on yes, that theme is going to be applied. You can also use your own theme. Let's say you have a theme already in Zoho Forms. You can use that theme, or you can even create a new one. The same thing applies for organization theme. If there are other themes that have been created by other users in your organization, you can be able to use that theme in here. So let's say for theme, we can create a new theme, and when you click on create new, it's going to take you to the page where you can create a new theme. So you can decide that you want how you want your form to be, and you can decide to change this however you want, or you can use the container, you can use this, and you can use this. So let's use this, and for the header, it can be scrollable or it can be fixed. So that means if they are scrolling, the header is going to be static. And you can also change your fonts to whatever you want. You can use any of these fonts in here. Let's use cabin. Let's use them now. So you can pick these fonts to whichever one you want, and you can also decide to change your font size to any of these. As you can see, we have the smaller ones and we have the bigger ones. So you can change this font size to however you want, and when you change that, you can decide to change your wallpaper. You can decide if you want to use a background image or if you want to use a background color. So you can decide to pick whichever color you want, and you can even be able to adjust your gradients and pick whatever color you want for your gradients. So let's say we want to change this to blue and we want to change this purple to another purple. So you can just change it, and you can change the angle to whatever you want, and that is going to change. And you can decide that you want to add in a background image. You can use the pre-designed background that they have already in Zoho Forms, or you can pick from Pixabay, or you can even upload from your computer if you want. So when you pick that image, that is done. You can also add in a banner, and the banner is going to be showing up here. So let's just try and add in a simple banner. So if you click on this and just insert it, this banner is going to be added to your form. And as you can see, it has added this image as my banner in my form, and I can be able to edit it, and I can also be able to remove it and just add in another image. I can decide to change in my banner style to however I want. If I want it to be the full page, or if I just want it to be on the normal scale, I can decide to align my image to the left, to the right, whichever one I want. I can decide to stretch this image if I want. And for my header, I can decide to change. This is my header, remember. I can decide to change my form title and make it bold. I can italize it. I can change the color to whatever I want. And when I change this color, it is going to show up in here, and you can see the color that is suitable for your page. Let's choose something simple. So you can also decide to add in a simple background for your header page. As you can see, I added this color. You can change the gradient also, and you can align the text to the left, to the right, to the middle, whatever you want. You can change this you can change the font for your header also, and when you change the font, as you can see, it's changing my font, and you can use whatever you want. You can also decide that, you know what, I want to add in a logo. So when you click on add in a logo, you can also add that logo to your form. Let me just look for something simple that I can use. These images are ugly. So for my logo, I can just pick, let me just pick any image, and I just insert that, and that will be added in as my logo. As you can see, it added this image to my logo, and I can decide to reduce my logo size to whatever I want. I can decide to make it smaller, I can decide to make it larger. So you can add in your complete logo in here, and that should work. You can decide to put in your logo in the middle. You can put it by the right, by the left. Just do whatever works for you. And for your pages, you can also decide that you want the navigation button or the navigation image to change. Since this is the one we are using, we can decide to change it to this. and as you can see, it changed this navigation page in here. You can also decide to use this, and it's going to change this also. So just choose whatever you want, and you can decide that you want the position to be outside the form container, or you can decide that you want it inside the form container. You can change the background of each navigation. You can use red, you can use blue, whichever one you want. This is the visited one, and you can change the text to from white to red. Let's use black. Yeah, so you can use black. And the unvisited page, like this one, you know, the other one that we have not visited, we can also change that. We can decide to use blue, and we can decide to use the text inside as black. So just change this to whatever works for you. And also you can decide to show page title in the navigation bar or the pages. You can decide that you want to change the container, and this is your container here. All of this is your container, and you know we are using oh, this is our container, sorry, the inside one is our container here. So you can decide to change the image inside your container. You can use gradient, or you can even use a single color. So you can decide that you want to change this to red. Oh no, that's so off. You can decide to change the color of your container. So just pick whichever color works for you, and when you pick in that color, that will be changed. You can also decide that you want to fit this to screen, so that means it is going to expand all of your form. Or you can decide that you want to use the custom one and just increase this to whatever you want, and you can decide to align to the left, to the right, to the left, and to the center. And for your fields, you can decide that for each text, like this text in here, you can decide to change the color. Let's change this to red if you want. You can decide to change the instruction, and remember that instruction is the one that is going to be showing inside your pages, inside your field box. So you can change this to black. You can change your focus to, let's change this to blue. And the asterisk can be changed to blue also, and as you can see, the asterisk has changed. So just change all of these to however you want. You can change your border shape, you can change this to normal one, you can even use the box one. You can change the background to whatever you want, and when you click on more, it is going to take you to this place where you can change the background width and all of this. You can also decide to add in the grid, and since the form does not have any grid, we cannot do any settings in here. So we can also decide to add in special fields like the sub inline. Remember that we have a sub inline in, I think that's page 3. Let me see. Yeah, do you know this sub inline where we are adding multiple team members? We can also decide to adjust this to whatever we want. So we can use this style, or we can use this style. So we can change the background of our sub inline. As you can see, it is white. We can decide I want our sub inline to be red. Oh no, that's so ugly. No, 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 no. I think let's just leave it in white. So we can change our sub inline to white, and we can also change the choice field in our sub inline. We can decide to use this, or we can decide to use this. Since we do not have choice in sub inline here, it is not going to reflect. And we can also decide that the text for the choice field, remember that we're still editing this for the choice field, you can edit the color, and you can also change the slider. And for the matrix choice, you can also decide to use these settings or this design. So just pick in whatever you want, and that will be done. And for the table background, we can decide that the table background should be another color. That is for your matrix field. And we can also decide for button. We can say that our button should be different. So let's say this is our buttons in here. We can say we want our buttons to fit to screen, and as you can see, if you pick in fits to screen, it is going to fit everything to screen. And you can decide that you can use color, or you want to use a gradient for each background, for each button. So this is the button, the submit button, which we are using for sign up. You can decide to change that image. You can decide to change the color to whatever you want. And the text for your sign up button, you can use black. For save and review, you can also change this color to whatever you want, and you can change the inside text to whatever you want also, and you can also add in a border. So this is the navigation button. You can change this to blue, deep blue, and you can change the text to, let's use white. Yeah, So that should work. Yeah, and for the navigation previous button, the back one, this one, you can also change the color to blue, and you can change the font inside to black. So just, switch this up to however design you want. And when you are done, you can click on save as new theme. I'm sorry, I'm using a very multicolor form and it's already even looking ugly kind of. Yeah, but it's for tutorial sake. So when you're done, you just click on save new theme, and you can add this theme. You can add in a name. So let's just add in YouTube form. And when you are done, you click on save, and that has been saved. So when you click on save, you can be able to apply this theme to your YouTube form. So if you click on yes, that means this theme is going to be applied to your YouTube form. And if you create any other forms also, you can be able to apply the same theme to your forms. So that is how to create a theme in Zoho.